Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore. We are a multinational hedge fund and a multi-asset hedge fund. By multinational, we mean we actively take positions in US, Europe, and Asia. By multi-asset means we actively take positions in multiple asset classes, which includes equities, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and various other asset classes. But like I repeated many a times, and I would continue to mention this, we are a proprietary hedge fund. By proprietary, I mean no third party. No third party can invest capital in our fund. Guys, you know that how complicated is the market. As we speak, the world is facing three geopolitical issues. Number one, the Russia Ukraine war. Every passing day, there is an information which is coming about Russia Ukraine war. But having said that, international media stopped sharing the same. International media, especially Bloomberg and other, they stopped covering the same. That's more important part. But unfortunately, the reality is Russia is progressing in US and Russia is trying extremely hard to conquer the Ukraine. And having said that, there is a big probability that Russia would conquer the Ukraine. Second is the China Taiwan factor. You know the height of stupidity in this? China already encircled Taiwan. Today I was watching a graph on the social media. When I watched this graph carefully, I got to know that Chinese Navy already circulated the Taiwan. And according to the public information from the last 2 years, which means from 2020, you can say, Chinese developed a very versatile model of submarine. And this submarine is very effective as far as the shallow water fight is concerned. Now, in a shallow water fight, because Taiwan is surrounded by the shallow water, it is not surrounded by the deep sea, where you have the conventional nuclear or non-nuclear submarine come into the picture. But the great fact of life is, except one or two YouTube channels, I haven't seen a single person covering this notional that China developed the latest version of the submarine. Third geopolitical issue the world is, as we speak, is facing the Israel issue. You know what is happening in Israel. If you're thinking that these geopolitical issues are of no use, then it is up to you. But according to me, these geopolitical issues are of big importance. When we counter these geopolitical options in our portfolio, we have a strategy called Seagull. Seagull is preferably of two types. Number one, we have long Seagull. Number two, we have short Seagull. When we have long Seagull, it means you would be buying the call and you would be buying the put, which means one side you have a right to buy which means buy call. Other, when you buying the put, you have a right to sell. When you short the seagull, you have same thing. You would be selling the call, which means you are obliged to buy, and you would be selling the put. You would be obliged, you are again obliged. So one side you have selling call, one side you have selling the put. Please do note that sell call and sell put moves in a reverse direction. Sell call is taken when market is expecting it would go up, but your research is suggesting it would come down. On the contrary, sell put is reverse. Sell put is taken when market is feeling it will come down, but your research is suggesting it would come up. Please do take a note of that. Also remember that in case of sell, whether this is call or whether this is put, the gains are limited while the losses are unlimited. Specifically talking, in case of sell, a huge capital is required, and in the eventuality of short sell, we can have unlimited losses. Please do take a note of that and never forget that, please. Straddle is an event-driven strategy. There is no doubt about that. But having said that, many people feel that straddle is a science. No, straddle is not a science. Straddle is an art. In this video, which would be divided into two parts, I would be covering 4 different types of straddles. Those who are thinking straddle is a science, they need to understand that straddle is an event-driven strategy. Event can be of many types. There is an event which happens today, forgot. There is an event which happens today, linger on, Russia-Ukraine war. There is an event which is yet to start, but the market is anticipating, China-Taiwan war. There is an event which can happen at any point of time, any geopolitical issue, North Korea, South Korea issue, and so on and so forth. Please do understand that straddles can be defined in 4 ways. Number 1, it can be defined in terms of vertical straddle. It can be defined in terms of horizontal straddle. It can be defined in terms of synthetic straddle. That's really very important. It can be defined in terms of the diagonal straddle. Like I said, in terms of complexity, I repeat, in terms of complexity, the simplest is the vertical straddle, followed by synthetic straddle, followed by horizontal straddle, and followed by the diagonal straddle. In terms of success, I would say, in terms of success, we go reverse, which means diagonal straddles are highly effective in nature, while the horizontal straddles are also effective but not as compared to the diagonal straddles. Synthetic straddles are effective, no doubt, but they are very expensive, which means it is beyond the pocket of 99% people to afford this straddle. The last and the easiest one, which is explained in so many books, even US author books and so on and so forth, which is vertical straddle. So I would be covering this again deeply in the second part, but just to conclude, straddle is an event-driven strategy. This is something we really need to understand. We also need to understand that straddle is not a science. Straddle is an art. If you go with the books, then straddle majority of the books, even US books, and I have seen few other authors also, Asian authors, without quoting any specific name, they mentioned straddle as a vertical straddle. So I read various books, and wherever I read, I got to know the straddle meaning is vertical one. No, this is completely incorrect. Please do take a note of that. In this upcoming part, to be coming today, we would be covering 4 different type of straddles. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number 9899242978. Have a great time.